Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So here we are with week number 6 of our hashtag 52 projects. 52 projects is just basically a simple fun project. Every Monday I'll post it. Join in, do the project, put your spin on it. Tag me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube just so I can see what you made. These projects are just simple projects to keep your crafty mojo flowing. Um, we were doing the hashtag 365, but it's kind of overwhelming to do a craft project every single day. But once a week, I think we can handle it. So this is week number 6, and I'm super excited about this book. This is my creation. I came up with this, measurements, everything by myself. So I'm very excited. My son just graduated Air Force boot camp, and so I made this tiny little brag book. It is so cute. It measures 3 by 4. And I'm going to call this one the Sprocket Brag book because I have one of the HP Sprockets. It's a mini printer that prints out 2 by 3 pictures with sticky back. So this is what the film looks like. My Sprocket is actually on the charger in a different room. So it's a tiny little printer. Super fun. If you have it, this is great. If you don't, you can print out your 2 by 3 pictures, anywhere. So with this one you can use the scraps. I used all scraps on this, well, mostly scraps on this book. I used some letter stickers. I did a little belly band because I wanted it to look like the name tape on the uniform. And here is how the book opens. Ta-da! So cute. And look, it's an accordion. So you have pictures. There's room for 14 pictures. And then it has this side. And this was just my favorite moments from boot camp. And then we have this side, which folds out this way. So I did some vertically and some horizontal, so you can see that you can do your book however you want. You can mix and match. Super cool. I love it. Here's his little schedule events for graduation. This is a banner we had made for him from Tony at Mimesis. Shout out to Tony. Thank you so much for that banner. So yeah, let's get started with the book. What you're going to need are 2 pieces of chipboard measuring 3 by 4. 1 piece of chipboard measuring approximately 3/4 of an inch by 4. You're also going to need cardstock. You're going to need a half a sheet of cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5. You're going to need 2 pieces at 3 3/4 by 11. We're going to score it at these score marks. And your mats are going to be 2.5 by 3.5 if you want the inside of your book to look like mine. I did red, white, and blue. And 1 camo on each side. I ran out of camo. Like I said, I was using scraps. So I did red, white, and blue and camo. So that's what you need here. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so you need your half a sheet of cardstock, which is the 8.5 by 5.5. Your 3 pieces of chipboard, and we're just gonna wrap it like a regular, how you normally wrap it. You can use score tape, you can use wet glue. I like to use wet glue, but feel free to use your score tape. Some people like to do both. It's really just your preference, and this is mine. You can measure it and get it exactly in the middle, but I'm just going to eyeball it. You're giving about 1 inch on all 3 sides. Use your squeegee or your bone folder to get that glue. This I got from Lindsay, who's following the Follow the White Rabbit. She got them from Amazon. You can get them from Michael's, Walmart, Home Depot. They're just squeegees. Next, we're going to add our 3/4 of an inch. This one's probably a little less than 3/4 of an inch. I just found scraps in my scrap bin. So some people like to do their chipboard to measure it out. I just usually eyeball it and lay it down. Some people like to use their other piece of chipboard as a shim and just kind of line it up if you're not comfortable with eyeballing it. You just want to make sure that your pieces line up exactly, and there's that little bit of room in between. See, this way is harder for me. Eyeballing is easier for me. So however you feel comfortable doing that. And I know some people like to leave like 1/4 inch gussets. I don't. So I just need that little tiny bit, just enough for the book to open and close. And we're good. Okay. There's a million tutorials on how to do this. That's why we're going pretty quickly at this stage of the game. And I just like to make sure that my book is going to open and close because my glue is still just a little bit pliable if I need to move it, which I did, but it's okay. So let's see, closes. Now we're going to go ahead and miter our corners. I just do the diagonal. You can do the square method, however you want to do it. I know I used to do the square method, but now I'm back to being comfortable with diagonal method. You just want to leave enough room between the point and the side paper so that way you can cover that corner. It's better to have too much than not enough. If you don't have enough, it's okay. If you cut too far down, you can always just cover it up with something. It's fine. Don't redo it. Okay, so all I did was took my bone folder and kind of just trained my paper. Here you can use, again, you can use your score tape, your wet glue. I'm going to use both just because it'll be quicker for the video. Normally I just use wet glue, but the score tape will hold while the wet glue is setting up. Yes, I'm going very fast on this because I have super slow videos on how to do this. And if you need help with that, you can just go through my videos and find it, or message me and I'll find it for you. Alright, make sure my glue is down. I like to do my long sides first, and then the short sides. It's just how I've done it. It's your preference. So what I'm doing down here is, you see how I have a lot of extra, so I'm just going to try to get that burnished in, and then when it wraps, it'll wrap nicely. Okay. Alright, so we'll cover that. Make sure I have a crisp line. This, when you're wrapping, you do want to make sure you're using a quality paper because it will crack. But if your paper cracks, it's really not the end of the world. You just put some liquid glue on it and it will adhere those cracks, the fibers in the paper, so that way you can't even see the cracks. So don't worry, we can always cover it up. Alright, so we have that, and we are good to go. Okay, perfect. So my sides, there's a little overhang because I had too much. That's just where I'm going to go ahead and chop it off. And we're perfect. It's better to have too much than not enough, because then you don't have to like fake it. So we're good. Okay. We're going to make sure we get in here, so that way our book closes. Okay, we are almost done. All right, so book's closed. We're good. Now this part, I'm going to add the paper for the middle piece here. Now this is where you can choose, there's two different ways you can do it. You can take your entire piece and cover all of it, like so, if you would like. Or you can just take like a little tiny piece and just cover your spine. I ended up having to do that for this paper because I did not have enough paper to cover the entire thing and still have mats. So I just took I think it was like a 3x4 piece and stuck it down there. You cannot tell. So it's really up to you how you want to do that. So I decided to do just the little tiny piece in the middle, because when you put your two accordion sides, you're not going to see the paper under here. So I'm not going to waste paper. I am using a sheet of sticky paper. That's all I'm doing off camera, is just putting the paper on the sticky side, so that way I get full coverage and it's quick. I'm just going to cut off this little bit that's over. This is just score tape sheets instead of strips. I like using the score tape paper when I'm doing a middle piece on a spine. It just gives it that quick coverage. I couldn't get the back off, so I cut it up. But yeah, I like it because I don't have to wait for it to dry like the glue. So I just kind of eyeball it and kind of center it. So for those of you who love measurements, this is 3 by 3 3/4, because I like that white border. If you don't want the white border, then, you know, just do yours, however, your measurements. And also so that way I can kind of see where my lines are. Okay. Okay. So my base is done. I'm just making sure there's no cracks on my book. It doesn't look like it. It's pretty sturdy. Okay, we're good to go. So now what we need to do is our two pieces, cut out 3 3/4 by 11. So you're going to take your full sheet of cardstock, and on the short side, you're going to cut it at 3 3/4. And then again at 3 3/4. So now you have two pieces that are 3 3/4 by 11. And we're going to score them. Both are going to have the same score measurements. So on the long side, or the 11-inch side, you're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. Okay. And then when you fold it, you're just going to kind of fold it into accordion style. It's going to be slightly off, but that's just how it worked out. Because honestly, how I found the measurements is I did 2 3/4, I moved it over, did another 2 3/4, and so on and so forth. And that's what the measurements turned out to be. Okay, so again, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4. We're done scoring. Accordion, so mountain, valley, mountain. And all at this point you need to do is determine how you want your book to open. So I wanted mine to open like so, to where these pages, the flap opens to the right, and this one, the flap goes to the left. You can do it any way you see fit. There's no wrong way. That's just how I did it. You want to make sure you varnish your accordion so that way it's a little bit flatter. And once you determine which way you want your flaps to go out, you're just going to glue the other piece right on in. To see what I mean? You don't see any of the pink on the outside. You only see it on the inside. You could have, like, if we would have did the full page, you may have seen like 1/8 of an inch of the pink. So it's really your preference. I was okay with not seeing the pink on this side. I just wanted it to be white on white because I'm going to matte that bottom page that I'm going to glue down. But it's like I said, it's up to you how you want to do it. This is a great way to use your scraps, because I know if you guys follow those how to manage your scraps, one of the size cuts is the 2x3. So yeah, you'll have 2x3 cuts in your scrap bin already. All right, so I'm just gonna glue mine in like so. So this one's gonna open up this way, and then this one is just gonna open up. I'm gonna burnish it again. And this one I'm gonna have open up that way. Just gonna glue the back. So basically you are done. I matted mine. My mat sizes were 2.5 by 3.5 because my pictures were 2x3. So you can mat it however you like. Just gonna line up the fold out with the pink, and there we go. So your book is done. All you have left is to mat it and make the belly band if you want, but you're essentially done. Okay, what I forgot to tell you is that the covers, both the outside and the two inside pieces, they're 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. The black is very forgiving, and you can't tell that this is, just the 2.5 by 3.5, but the white is not forgiven. So the white on the inside cover, you do want to do the bigger 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and it comes out like that. So it's really however you want your book to look. For the black one, I just did the cover 2.5 by 3.5, but the white one I did 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 just on the inside covers. And that cover, and then the outside is the 2 3/4 and 3 3/4 on both. So for this book, I used the Michael's Hut Buy. It's called Pun Intended. And this one is my niece to a T. Everything is her. We call her Anna Banana. They have banana pages in there. She loves French fries and ketchup. They had that in there. So this is how I did it. Her bananas. She has cat ears, and it's a little cat ice cream cone, and she actually has these heart sunglasses. And then on the other side, I did the pizza because she loves pizza, the French fries with ketchup, and then Friday. And then the other side is just the same, just the opposite. And there you go. Just a little note. When you're cutting your paper, make sure you're cutting it directionally, because I cut it the wrong way the first time, but it's fine because they're little pieces. And also you may want to measure twice and cut once, because these ones are too small, but I felt it still looked good. I cut these two pages separately so you can see the difference in the border. If you cut them too small, you're going to have a bigger border. If you cut them on the right size, you'll have a smaller border. So it's really up to you how you do it. This one I accidentally did at 2 1/4 instead of 2.5. Doesn't matter. I mean, you'll be able to see the difference once I put the picture on there, but know your audience. This is going to a 4-year-old. She's not going to care. I'm not being reviewed by Ryan, so I'm not going to redo it. Those of you with kids, you know who Ryan is. So yeah, so I just did a simple little belly band. I fussy cut out one of the little badges on the page, and it says, I do what I want. This is the page here. So yeah, I would love to see what you guys make. You can see the difference just by changing the papers, and the theme. The possibilities are absolutely endless. So yeah, there you have it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.